Hello, and welcome to Lake County, Ohio. With unique soils and a diverse population, Lake County is home to one of the largest concentrations of nurseries in the country. This remarkable industry has put Lake County on the map for horticulture around the world. For over 150 years, these nurseries have been thriving in Lake County. This is their history. Many factors made Lake County the perfect place for J.J. Harrison to start the area's first nursery in 1854. Numerous soil types, location next to Lake Erie, and a relatively flat topography make Lake County an ideal place for nursery growing.
There are a number of factors, one of which, and we've all read about this probably, the soils are great here. We were under three different ancient lakes, which has created a soil profile about 20 miles long. We call it a nursery belt. And then the lake gives us a great microclimate here.
The microclimate produced by Lake Erie is famous for producing lake effect snow in the winter, but that same lake effect also allows the area around the lake to have a longer growing season than other places in the country. Aside from the lake, in the 1850s, this region was beginning to grow because of the railroads being built through it, which connected large cities in the Midwest to those on the East Coast. Perhaps most amazing is that Lake County remains within 500 miles of half the U.S. population, giving nurseries access to a large number of different markets throughout the nation. Due to all of these favorable factors, J.J. Harrison moved to the area and decided that it would be the perfect place to start the very first nursery business in Lake County.
We believe the first nursery was Storrs and then later Storrs and Harrison in 1854. And that Jesse Storrs came from Cortland, New York with his three sons and his wife and started a nursery on Route 20 and Bacon Road in Paynesville, actually. And eventually it would go all the way to Lake Erie, and it would go the other way across Route 20 past the tracks, and then just became a hub of many, many other nurseries, smaller nurseries. By the in the 1870s, there was a financial panic that was really difficult for them, and the next year there was a really bad winter when we went to about minus 33 in Lake County, and these were very tough conditions. But they survived and thrived, and by the 1880s, 1890s, they had 500 or more workers, and they were the largest nursery of their type in the world.
Storrs and Harrison had so many workers that their nursery more or less became its own town, and many other nurseries got their start here. As Storrs and Harrison's business began to decline, the Kohanke brothers bought land and started their own nursery, which soon became the largest nursery in the country. Many other small nurseries also got their start during this time and grew to what they are today. One of the factors that helped move nurseries forward was immigration. An entire industry was built on the backs of thousands of immigrant workers from all over the world.
Well, the first nursery immigrant I've tracked it back to 1833, and that's when J.J. Harrison arrived from England. He was 3 years old. So he grew up locally. Eventually his father started a farm on Jackson Street, and Jesse Storrs started his nursery, the Paynesville Nursery, and then in 1858, J.J. Harrison and him had a meeting, and they decided to form a partnership. And then since then, there's just wave after wave of immigrants from all over the world. So that's led to great workers, great local communities.
Since the very beginning of Lake County nurseries, immigrants came from all over the world to work in them. For generations, nurseries in Lake County have taken great pride in having the brightest and most hardworking immigrants in America. Agriculture has provided many opportunities for them, and it is often hard work that few people want to do. But because of the hard work of immigrants, there are several hallmarks that are unique to the nursery industry in Lake County.
I think there are several main hallmarks of our local industry, and one is the sharing of information. Just remarkable. You think of other industries and they keep their technologies secret, and here it's always been an open book. People open up their nurseries. We do tours to help one another locally and from other places. Another hallmark would be innovation. We're a small industry segment of agriculture, and industries like the tractor builders, John Deere, they don't build equipment just for the nursery industry because we're relatively small. So we have to make it ourselves. We design it sometimes, fabricate it, and I think a lot of nurserymen are budding engineers in that regard. Another hallmark would be leadership. Truly remarkable, if you go back to J.J. Harrison in the 1800s, he became a leader in the national industry. And from those early movers and shakers up to 1927, when our association was formed, Lake County Nurserymen's Association, and we brought the world here in a tour.
With the world now aware of what our nurseries have to offer, it is important to emphasize how important they are to the local economy. For generations, nurseries have helped develop Lake County into the thriving community we know and love today.
The nurseries have had a huge impact all along on local economics. Stores in Harrison did a lot of postal shipping, and that's why the Paynesville Post Office was created the size of a regional post office, largely because of their commerce. And we did a study in 2007 funded by the Cleveland Foundation of our local industry. I was amazed. According to that, we were doing almost $90 million a year in sales from nurseries in Lake County, and most of that is at the wholesale level. Much of it, over half of it, goes out of state. So we bring a lot of money in. We had about 2,500 workers, seasonal, about 1,350 full-time equivalent workers, many of whom are Mexican.
With $90 million in sales each year and thousands of workers, nurseries are an invaluable resource to all of Lake County. Economics aside, horticulture also has a strong connection to our local communities. Nurseries have played a major role in making Lake County, Ohio, a beautiful place to live.